You must have heard about observer effect in quantum physics, which means particles behave as a wave depending on whether they are being observed or not. And then you must have read articles circulated on social media saying how quantum physics proves that there needs to be an observer, or so to say higher power, for reality to exist. But what is the meaning of observer in observer effect? We cannot look at particles with naked eyes. We look at them, measure them, or so to say observe them using measuring tools, human-made tools. We also cannot look at things when it's dark. So how do the measuring tools and light affect the behavior of particles? Does an observer mean someone with a conscience, or is an observer anything that is energetically interacting with the particle? And everyone is smart enough to do the learning on their own before spreading misinterpretations. Another headline you must have read is that scientists prove that the universe is not locally real, concluding that we are living in a simulation. Well, the scientists who proved that the universe is not locally real won a Nobel Prize. So what exactly did they prove? What does it mean by being locally real? What is locality and reality according to quantum physics? Who is John Bell? What was his theory, assumptions, and relation to this research? And one just needs to dive deep before again spreading misinformation. The quantum world is unpredictable for us because we don't understand it yet. But things are pretty predictable at a bigger scale. I still wake up in the morning and my nightstand is by my bedside. A tree still falls in the forest even if no one's watching. Maybe we will understand quantum behavior in 10 years, 100 years, and probably not in our lifetime. And that's okay. I'm not looking for answers when I read science. Because when I read science, it leaves me with more questions than what I had before. And that's the beauty of it. That it doesn't claim that it knows it all. It broadens our mind and perspective because it raises more questions in our head than what we perhaps would have thought about otherwise. I have made peace with living a life without getting answers. And you know what? I would rather die happily with unanswered questions than living a life without any questions or living with irrational beliefs, answers, and bizarre conclusions. I'm sure that you are fascinated by some subjects. It could be anything: chemistry, economics, genetics, physics. I feel it is very important to learn things around us, but also to learn them from sane and rational minds who give a balanced outlook. For example, someone like Jim Al-khalili, who is a very natural and rational teacher. I'm a big Al-Khalili fan. All of his books, talks, lectures, documentaries are just mind-blowing. There are so many things that I've learned from him. How birds find directions, what is quantum tunneling, how does an MRI machine work, and especially I have enjoyed reading his book, Quantum, A Guide for the Perplexed. It is one of the best books that I have read on quantum physics. He explains in depth how the experiments are done, what tools are used, scientists, theories, and research, and various concepts like superposition, wave function, pions, alpha decay, quantum field theory, fermions, bosons, cyclotrons, quantum computers, and so many other things that it will take me a long time to just list them. I read, reread, paused, pondered, watched amazing animations of experiments on YouTube, and I absolutely loved studying this book. There wasn't a moment when my mind wasn't blown. I highly recommend Quantum, A Guide for the Perplexed, even if you do not have any formal background in physics. Happy reading.